Let's talk about lesson plan alignment. So this is your lesson plan assignment 1, and I wanted to help you with alignment to make sure that you're doing this right. So you have the shape grade level outcome was already identified for you. So we're using strategies and tactics effectively during gameplay in NetWall or target games. So notice we're using strategies and tactics. We're likely playing some type of a game. And I noticed that it says NetWall games, which is congruent with our sport here that we're teaching volleyball. Okay, so this was identified for you already. But notice that the major content of this objective is strategies and tactics. So if that's the case, then that means that you're teaching strategies and tactics during your lesson. So therefore your objectives, which are essentially your major goals for your day, your the goals that you want your students to learn before the end of your class, these are the major goals. They should also align with what you're teaching, which is strategies and tactics during gameplay of some type of NetWall game, which we already identified was volleyball. So our psychomotor objective is always your physical objective. So you should be able to physically see your students doing these, whatever it is. So it's the doing, there's some type of performance related to it, and that's that psychomotor objective. So students will be able to demonstrate serving to open space. So demonstrate being our action word there, serving to open space during volleyball practice. So serving to open space is our product or our outcome. So that's what we're teaching. We're teaching serving to open space. So notice this arrow I have here going from strategies to tactics, going down to serving to open space in the psychomotor domain, which then means we need to take this major content or the product or whatever we're teaching in that psychomotor objective, and you need to have critical elements that align with that objective, so serving to open space. So tell me exactly how to serve to open space, step by step. So first, we need to find open space on the opposite side of the court. I need to face my target. I'm going to hold the ball in the medium space in the non-striking hand. I'm going to use a bowling motion with my striking hand, make contact with the ball, and then follow through. That's literally how to serve a volleyball. Okay, so notice I'm teaching strategies and tactics, and my outcome, my psychomotor domain is teaching those serving to open space, which is that strategy, and then my critical element also aligns with that major product or outcome from my psychomotor objective. Let's look at my cognitive objective now. So my cognitive objective is always going to be measuring someone's thinking or their knowledge of something. So you should never be able to see somebody physically doing something if it's a cognitive objective. Cognitive is all up in your brain. You can't tell, you can't see what somebody's thinking or what somebody knows because it's in their brain. So the only way that you can get at that knowledge or get at that cognitive side is if you either ask somebody a question or you ask them to write down a response to some type of, question or prompt. Okay? So notice my cognitive objective. Student will be able to identify the importance of hitting to open space during volleyball. Okay? So identify is an action word that is not a performance. It's not a psychomotor. When you're asking somebody to identify something, you're asking them to use their brain or use their thinking in some manner. And in this aspect, we're looking for them to identify the importance of hitting to open space. So why do we need to hit to open space? So notice hitting to open space again, it's relating to our major grade level outcome, strategies and tactics. because we're talking about hitting to open space. And because this is the major product or outcome of my objective, identifying hitting to open space or the importance of hitting to open space, I now need to describe what that looks like or what I'm actually looking for there by including that in my critical elements. So the importance of hitting to open space. Open space designates space where the other opponents are not standing. Open space is a scoreable location on the court, and open space is on the opposite side is not guarded by the opponent, so obviously I can score. So these are reasons why hitting the open space is so important. Okay, and then let's look down at the affective domain. So the affective domain, it is a little bit of a performance, so likely most of the time you can observe these behaviors, but not always. So when you're writing an objective for the affective domain, you're often looking for someone's feelings or their emotions, whether or not they value something. And then most often you'll see that people write that they're, relating to social skills in phys ed. So working in teams or working in groups. They can work with, with a partner in some type of peer type of activity. They have sportsmanship, things like that. So my objective here, student will be able to work collaboratively with classmates and, for example, speak positively and provide encouraging specific feedback during volleyball practice. Okay, so my affective domain, again, while we are learning strategies and tactics, I'm looking that my students are going to be able to work collaboratively with classmates. So working collaboratively with classmates is that product or outcome. That's what I'm looking for. So now I need to describe specifically what that looks like, and I have that identified here. I want them speaking positively and providing positive and specific feedback to their partners. Now, keep in mind, I only have two criteria here. Most often, you do want 3 to 5. So, you remember that from studying for the midterm critical elements, you do want 3 to 5. That's the best. Because this is an affective objective, I'm a little bit more lenient there, only for the affective objectives. Notice that my cognitive and my psychomotor objectives and the critical elements have between 3 and 5. Okay, this one having 6, which really is too many, but I'm combining two elements here: serving, the skill of serving, and the importance of hitting to open space. So, so I do have 6 here, but really you want 3 to 5. Okay, so that's the alignment that I'm talking about, and I really want you to make sure that you have this before you turn in your lesson plan. Also, make sure that everything on your lesson plan is relating only to the skill of serving to open space in volleyball, and that you're not teaching any other skills or anything in your lesson plan. I shouldn't see anything else besides volleyball related activities and skills in your lesson plan. So just a quick review again, you want your outcome always to align with what you say you're teaching in your objectives, because your objectives are those major goals for your students for every single day. Your psychomotor is the performance objective, so you should physically be able to see students demonstrating some type of a skill. Your cognitive objective is usually looking for someone's thinking or their knowledge, so you can't really see this. So your verbs for this, your action words should be like identify, describe, compare, contrast. Look at that Bloom's taxonomy. Remember the Bloom's taxonomy for midterms? That's where you're going to get a bunch of verbs here that can help you. And then your affective objective, looking at those feelings, emotions, values, or social skills, again, relating to some type of activity, relating to your sport that you're teaching or your activity you're teaching, which is volleyball. And then making sure that you have critical elements to define that major product or outcome from your objective, that you're really describing what specifically you're looking for. Okay? I just wanted to record this to help, maybe it would help you a little bit with your lesson planning. I'm here if you need any help, so reach out and hopefully I can help you out.